Once again for joining us on the conversation on Lagos Television. I am Ajibola Ojashola.
Good morning and welcome. I am Joy Olu.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adibimpe Omotayo, and it's nice to be
Okay,
back.
Adebimpe, it's good to see you again. Today is Thursday, the 13th of August, 2026. And,
Already?
Already, yeah.
As always said
Time
yesterday.
is flying really
Already?
fast.
Month is running.
Okay.
And today is a very special day right here in Lagos Television because members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ LTV Chapel, are celebrating their annual press week today. And they're already on the street trying to create awareness for this particular special week of our colleagues in the industry. And we're expecting others who are not members of staff of Lagos Television to also join us today to rejoice for the 2026 press week of Lagos Television. So it's starting today. Tomorrow there will be gala nights and awards night for those who have made impact at various levels of government in Lagos State.
Interesting.
So how come we are not in white and blue?
We'll do that after the show.
After the show.
Okay.
We'll do that. Ajibola, you know I asked him the same question. You're not doing it back at us.
But my jeans is blue. Do you want me to stand up?
Okay.
I was going to say something.
And my inner shirt is white.
I was going to say something, so
Okay.
let me just keep quiet. Let me just keep quiet, Ajibola.
Let's go on.
Okay. We'll go straight to our news point, and we're starting with the issue of state police. State police presidency closes public submissions today. The presidency has announced that public submissions on the proposed national policing bill will close by 5 p.m. Today, August 13th, 2026, advising Nigerians to submit their views on the planned establishment of state police. The Chief of Staff to the President and Chairman of the Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill, Femi Gbajabiamila, disclosed these on Wednesday, saying the consultation was designed to incorporate the experiences and professional expertise of Nigerians into the proposed legislation. He said the submission will be particularly useful in addressing concerns over political interference, oversight, police misconduct, and intelligence sharing between federal and state police services. He said the consultation would not replace the role of the National Assembly, which will retain the power to scrutinize, amend, reject, or pass the bill when transmitted. Gbajabiamila advised Nigerians to contribute to the process, particularly on how police services could be protected from political interference, who should investigate serious misconduct, and how federal and state forces could share intelligence across state boundaries. He said for too long, the debate has been framed as a choice between effective local policing and protection from political abuse. Nigerians need both. We can bring policing closer to the people while building strong national standards, independent oversight, and firm safeguards for every citizen. The time to fix policing in Nigeria is now, and we must see the work through. Gbajabiamila also stressed that the proposed state police system must contain strong safeguards to prevent governors from using the force against political opponents, protesters, media, minority communities, and other citizens. Gbajabiamila, a former Speaker of the House of Reps, said although the state police could bring policing closer to the people and improve responses to local security challenges, its proximity to state government raised legitimate concerns about political interference and abuse of power. But proximity does not guarantee justice. The concern that governors might use state police against political opponents, minority communities, or dissenting voices is serious and must be answered in the design of the law. So that's it. The submission for those who might want to contribute to the state policing bill, which is still before the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly, will be closing today, according to the Chief of Staff, who is also the chairman of that presidential committee on the proposed state policing bill, to submit their views, their opinions on this particular bill before it will be passed again to members of the National Assembly. And after it is passed to the members of the National Assembly, it will be transmitted to Mr. President to do the needful so that it will become the law and be part of our constitution. But the fears being raised in this particular bill, they are genuine. Because of the way and manner some of our politicians do behave. A case at hand is that reckless senator from Osun State Senator Francis Fadausi, who directed members of the APC in that video. He has denied it anyway, saying that members of the APC should kill members of our court party if they cite them before and during the election. So we hope that this particular bill will address some of the concerns in terms of abuse of state policing eventually when it becomes part of our law.
Yes, I like the fact that, you know, the presidency has, you know, announced that the public submissions on proposed national policing will close by 5 p.m. The fact that they are even accommodating opinion of the public into all of this shows real democracy. You know, the textbook definition of democracy is government for the people, by the people, and of the people. Of the people, by the people, and for the people. Yes. So this is a true definition of democracy, and all the fears of the state governor and state officials hijacking the state policing system. All of these fears are there, and of course people, they would address it, and this is where the National Policing Working Group head and the others will come together and now look at the fears, different submissions of people, and see how they can work around it to make it work, to make the state policing work in various states.
And also the jurisdiction. So will there be a boundary between where the state police would operate and where the federal police would operate? Those things also need to be highlighted properly.
That will be addressed.
Yes, definitely there will be boundaries between federal and state police. From state policing now, we move to politics. 2027, Atiku will be more options ahead of single candidate summit. Uncertainty has continued to trail the proposal for a single opposition presidential candidate ahead of 2027 general election, with political parties expressing divergent positions on the proposed arrangement. The development followed a call by a group of 100 Nigerians led by former APC chieftain Salisu Lukman for opposition presidential candidates and political leaders to close ranks and present a common candidate against President Bola Tinubu in 2027. The group had advised former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Peter Obi of Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, and their respective running mates, Rotimi Amechi and Rabiu Kwankwanso, as well as other opposition candidates, to subordinate individual interests to the broader objective of defeating the APC-led federal government in 2027. The G100 argued that a divided opposition, regardless of its numerical strength, will struggle to defeat the ruling party, making a single presidential candidate necessary to consolidate opposition votes. Lukman earlier in the week announced the convocation of an opposition summit in Abuja on August 18th, signaling the group's desire to advance the proposal and bring the various opposition tendencies to the negotiating table. However, indications that the proposal may face difficulties have emerged from some of the parties and political movement expected to participate in the process. In an interview with The Punch, the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication to ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Frank Shuaib, came short of confirming his principal's attendance at the proposed summit, noting that a word to that effect will be made public. He said His Excellency Atiku Abubakar welcomes every genuine initiative aimed at strengthening democratic opposition and providing Nigerians with a credible alternative to the Tinubu administration. His attendance at the august occasion will, however, be communicated once its schedule and participation are finalized. He also lauded G100 initiative, saying His Excellency has consistently maintained that the challenges confronting Nigeria require opposition parties, leaders, and citizens of goodwill to put national interest above individual or partisan considerations. There is a considerable merit in building the broadest possible democratic coalition ahead of 2027. What is most important is that any process towards achieving that objective must be transparent, inclusive, and democratic, and ultimately produce a candidate capable of earning the confidence of Nigeria. On the proposed for a single opposition candidate to confront Tinubu, the ADC candidate was rather evasive, noting, however, that is in consultation with political leaders and stakeholders across opposition. Such engagement, he noted, are normal and necessary at this particular stage. So the opposition parties, we read this particular story earlier this week about the August 18th opposition summit in Abuja, where the opposition are planning to come together and present a single candidate to run for the presidential slot of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2027. But will they be able to harmonize their ideas, their manifestos together to present a single candidate at the end of the day is a very big question for now. Earlier in the year, they had a particular summit similar to this in Ibadan, your state capital, and up until now, they have not been able to come out with something tangible as regards who is going to fly the flag of the opposition parties in 2027. They're very serious about wresting power from the current president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But how far they can go is the big question for now. Who is going to step down for who, and which party or which platform are they going to use to fly this particular single candidacy for the 2027 general elections?
Anyway, whoever is stepping down, I don't see Atiku stepping down. I don't see
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi.
I never say never in politics.
I don't see him stepping down. It was because he didn't step down for Atiku.
That was why he moved.
Why he moved to another party. So who will be the sole candidate for the opposition? What would I call it?
I don't think that can work.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it working. Is President Tinubu that, big that everybody now wants to come together? And
that's the way it is. Anytime it is politics. That was
are you afraid of?
That was how President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself gathered some opposition parties to also wrestle power from Jonathan when Buhari became the president. And so we'll leave them to do their...
It's a strategy in politics now.
Yes.
They want to use the same strategy that the person that used it before is now in power, and they think it will work.
Adebimpe,
I beg.
Jonathan was in power, he was defeated.
Yes.
There's nobody that cannot be defeated.
Maybe after Ashiwaju.
So far, the election is transparent.
Maybe after another 4 years.
Free,
I'm not campaigning for anybody.
Fair.
But these people have not shown any consistency.
We still have time, don't worry.
They've not shown, we still have time.
We still have time.
A few months.
When are we having the general election?
24 hours in politics is
Something
not too
can
long.
happen,
I feel it's just be mischievous.
But the power still lies with the people, though.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, and we still have Labour Party too. They have their candidate.
They are cooking something. Just keep your fingers crossed.
But one thing I've noticed is that, it's been quiet. Is it because campaigns have not started officially?
Maybe.
People have been quiet, and it's so suspicious.
Okay, let's have your news point.
The story.
Okay, I'll take 168 solar street lights stolen on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Long Bridge. No fewer than 168 solar-powered street lights installed along the Long Bridge section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway have been stolen by suspected vandals. The streetlights installed in 2025 along the approximately 5-kilometer long bridge were meant to illuminate the busy stretch and improve the safety of motorists, particularly at night. However, Punch, that is, reporting this, observed that the lights began disappearing gradually only months after they were installed. During a visit to the bridge on Tuesday, several sections were found to have been stripped of their street lighting infrastructure. Account of the vandalized points from the Opik end of the bridge towards Wawa showed that about 168 solar-powered streetlights had been removed. The suspected vandals appeared to have carefully dismantled the lights, loosening the screws and nuts used to secure the poles to the bridge before removing and cutting them away. Further observations show that while some lights had been removed at intervals, others were vandalized along stretches of up to 300 meters. I'll stop here because this issue of vandalism, is becoming worrisome. Some people are saying, "Oh, it's the situation of the country." They should start eating their children. If it is that bad, they are, of course, they should start cutting themselves and be cooking it because it's not making sense. These things were put there for us, for our own use, for our safety. And they've carted away 168.
There are people who are buying these things.
Yes, that is where they should start from. And you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. I'm going to say this. Allegedly, I believe it's the people they buy from that come back to losing it and resell again. It is people that know about these things.
You know, this long bridge is my...
It's your access.
It's your roots.
And it is my axis, and it's always very, very... It's not good at all, especially when you're driving at night. It's usually very dark. You know, there are bushes on the left and on the right, so it's usually very dark, and you have to rely on your headlamps of your car. And sometimes when accidents happen on that road, it's because there's no enough, the light is not enough. And those people who are perpetrating this evil.
They are evil. Yeah. They are not perpetrating. They are evil people perpetrating the evil. Please, let's call it their names.
Well, we'll pray that government agencies or security agencies of government precisely now will do the needful and, of course, bring these people to book because they are enemies of the state. Joy, your story.
Okay, I forgot myself. Sanwo-Olu unveils mid-level agro-produce hub in Agege to deepen food security capacity. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu yesterday commissioned the mid-level agro-produce hub in Agege as part of efforts to boost food security in the state, stating that his administration places food security at the heart of its development agenda, especially that it recognizes that the prosperity of the state is inseparable from the strength and efficiency of its food system. While speaking at the commissioning program, Governor Sanwo-Olu said his administration began to rethink the food system of the state in 2021, and the decision was guided by a simple but fundamental reality. It says, with a population of over 25 million people, our demand for food is enormous and grows every day. Yet, over 70% of that food is produced outside our borders. It travels long distances through fragmented supply chains before reaching our markets, exposing our residents to high transportation costs, post-harvest losses, poor storage, supply disruptions, and price volatility. We therefore understand that producing more food is not enough. We had to transform the entire chain from production through aggregation, logistics, and processing to the market themselves. And that understanding gave birth to the Lagos State Food Systems Transformation Agenda, our comprehensive response to the challenge of feeding Lagos sustainably, affordably, efficiently, and safely. End of quote. It's a long read, but this took place yesterday. And if you want to get a breakdown of the activities that took place at that event, you can grab the dailies and read up to get adequate information. But again, I mean, I like that the Lagos State government is a very proactive government, thinking in the forward direction towards ensuring that there is food security in the state.
This is the second of its kind, right? The first one was in Mushin.
Yes.
And I heard there's another one coming up in the Lagos
Ekpe
Expressway access. Yeah, kudos to Mr. Governor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. When we read the bad news, anytime you come to Lagos news, it's always
good news.
It's always good news. It gives you the real sense of hope that okay, at least some people still care.
Yes, I do agree that it's a very good one coming from the government of Lagos State. The welfare and security of the people is the constitutional duty of government, and that's essentially is what the government of the day is trying to do. So I've tagged this particular development, Operation Feed Lagos, we have in Mushin, Agege, and hopefully the one on the island would also be completed very soon so that Lagosians can have access to affordable food coming from the Lagos State government. Let's move to the X platform now. Earlier, Adebimpe read a particular story concerning what is happening on solar panels installed on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The coastal highway, which is still under construction. You see, Nigerians, we are very difficult people to govern. The coastal highway guards have also made their first arrests of some vandals who were removing some of the installations on the coastal highway. And that particular arrest was led by retired General Adekunle Shodunke, who is the one in charge of the Coastal Highway Guards. Why would government provide an infrastructure to make movement easy for Nigerians, and then all we can do is to go there and vandalize?
You know, the other day we discussed it here too on this.
Do we have mental issues?
That's what our guest said. He said it's a mental thing, that it has to do with the mental state of people, because I do not understand someone who is in his right thinking mind. That person will just go and start vandalizing infrastructures that are meant to make your life better. Whoever does that is not okay.
You know, it's just so, it's so depressing, it's so tiring, you know. And this even happened in broad daylight. They don't even, at least look at the people, you know, the suspects that were caught. It wasn't in the night. It was in broad daylight. And how many guards do we now start putting on the roads, you know, to help us secure infrastructure? It's mental. The people that perpetrate this evil, they are not okay. They are not well. Everything about this country is...
It's the devil.
It's the devil
now.
It's the devil.
You know, everybody thinks they are smart. You know, I'm smarter than you. That's why I'm doing this. This is where I make my money from, at the detriment of how many? Over 300 million people.
We need to forgive them. It's the devil. Don't mind them.
The devil has left them and is looking at them like this.
They will have a change of heart someday. We will continue to pray for them and be hopeful.
When the devil got to Nigeria,
that God will renew their hearts.
He even met his seniors. He met his Oga in Nigeria.
Okay, that's the Coastal Highway trending on X this morning. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, first conversation, this conversation for me, it is quite shameful. Build up to Osun Guba election, and we have seen all kinds of insanity coming from Osun State because of this governorship election slated for Saturday. My guest will be doing justice to this particular issue at stake after this break.